What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of our Midday Motivations, where it is my goal to help motivate you into the rest of your day. And today's message that I had for you is I'm hoping going to be a little something for all of you out there who are married, who are having relationship problems, who are going through whatever it may be today. But today I wanted to bring you a real quick, real short midday motivation to just tell you real something about the golden rule. And Jesus is the one who coins the golden rule. And it is something that we can see through multiple different generations, through multiple different people, through multiple different ethnicities. And it says that in Matthew 7:12, do to others whatever you would like them to do to you. This is the essence that is all that is taught in the law and the prophets. And so my title for you guys here today is this: be what you want to see. You have to be what you want to see. There's a coined reference that we had, and I'm sure this is out there everywhere. But in the beginning of COVID, we had coined a reference here at Revive was be the change. And so with that, we wanted to encourage you as an individual is to be the very thing that you wanted to see. If you wanted someone to reach out to you, be the person that is reaching out and helping others, being that voice into the community, being that voice to reach out to other people, was willing to be something that they wanted to see. You know, there's a lot of different people that maybe have gone through like Carvana, I had that idea right out of high school. Like I wanted an experience for people to come and buy a car without having a salesperson that was going to come out and annoy them and take up the next hour of their life because they're just so pushy. And so the problem is I could see it, but I just wasn't willing to be it. And so now someone else is forking in the profits of an idea that I had probably 10 years ago. So with that being said, I wanted to encourage you today that in order for you to see it in the world, you need to be able and be willing to be it. Meaning that when we do unto others what we want them to do to us, we are giving other people an example to follow by. We are giving the next generation a foundation to build on. We are giving people around us the ability to see something so they can be it as well. But it all has to start with someone who's willing to be it before it can be seen. Willing to be the patriarch and the matriarch of a movement that is not yet seen because somebody was willing to be what they believed. Every movement that we see in society and in history all started with someone who was able and willing to be something that is not yet seen. Martin Luther King Jr. was a person who was willing to be before it could be seen. You see, all throughout history, we can go on and on with individuals who are willing to be it. Even Martin Luther, like the one who pinned oh God, now I'm really screwing up this. But either way, all throughout history, we can see that people who made a difference in the world were willing to be something that no one else could see. They were willing to stand up for something when everybody else was not willing to. And in order for us to be the light in our community, to show people who Jesus are, we need to be willing to step up in the face of adversity. I don't know if you guys saw the comment, but we this last weekend, our church partnered with United Way and the community, and our special events team did a smashing job. I'm going to go British now. Did a smashing job on giving almost 60 children a back to school with confidence. Backpack, school supplies, clothes, shoes, the gamut, everything. Wasn't small, wasn't simple, because that's just what we do at Revive Church. We don't do small or simple. And so when we did that, and then someone had the audacity to post in the bottom, like, this was nothing about church. This was all about giving to the kids. And they put in a meme that said that, hey, like every time that people ask me about going to church makes me think of wanting to put out a fire with my face. Like, if you want to be it, you've got to be willing to be the face, to be the person that's willing to push through stupidity of people's comments. Like, because so many people are so afraid of people saying something or putting different memes up or putting different places, like smashing your name and trying to make things or trying to put you down. Like, you've got to get over the fear of that and be willing to be something before people can see it. I remember there was a ministers conference that I went to that Andrew Womack had hosted, and he's been in the ministry for almost 50 years. Maybe it's 50 years now, but I think they just had their 50-year anniversary at Andrew Womack Ministries. And there was a guy who came in and was preaching at this ministers conference, and he was just highlighting Andrew's like willingness to be like, just to preach what he believed that God's word said. And it's the message of grace, like literally God's message of grace to us. That means that we don't have, like, there's nothing that we can do to make ourselves righteous except for saying yes to God. And so the grace is me receiving a gift, an unmerited favor from God that I did not earn, that I did not have to do. All I had to do was say yes to what he's already wanting to give us. It was a gift, right? And so he was preaching grace, this other pastor said, about Andrew before it was even popular. Preaching grace before it was popular. So my question is, are you willing to do what you believe God called you to do before it's popular? Now, I don't know about you, but our church is planted in Vermont. It is the least churched state in all of America. And all of it, like just yesterday, I talked to one of our staff members, Miranda, and she was telling me how that she got an email from another ministry that is saying that there was a poll just taken over across America, and we are one nation under God. I still believe that 100%, but we just dropped below 50%. I think that's what she told me. We, as a society, as America, we dropped below 50% of people claiming to be a Christian. So church. We are in a fight. Church state, in a small town community. It's something where there's a lot of things that we have to fight through. We have a lot of things that we have to fight through. You know, planning in a big city and having that metroplex of population to be able to reach from, to gain and to grow a church is one thing. But when you're doing it in small town America, being a person from Poultney, like I'm not an outside influence, I'm from Poultney. So a lot of times that is a lot more difficult, but we've been willing to be, not just me, not just my wife, but our whole church has been willing to be the change, to be it before we were able to see it. Like every time I go to a conference and tell people the size of our church, what we're able to do in the size of the town that we live in, people are blown away per capita. Having over 100 people in our church in a 3,000 people town, like, is unheard of, but God, this church is willing to be it before this community is able to see it. Like a church of 100 and some odd people, we've got over 70 people that serve on our dream team. We have an army of people that gather together at every outreach event and do the impossible to a community that needs this message of Jesus, and a community that needs backpacks, clothing, shoes for their kids, that needs a clothing drive that we're doing next month, that needs different areas that we're able to fulfill, that needs a message of Jesus. But that would have never happened unless somebody was willing to be the change. And it's not just me, y'all. It's not just me. It was submission from my wife to let me go to college, to come back and take over the church. It was my grandfather who was willing to hold on to this thing through 20 years of 10 people every week coming and being faithful to prayer meetings, being faithful to Wednesday night church, being faithful to Thursday night going to the prisons, being faithful to Saturday night going to prisons, which I went with him a few different times to help him lead worship at those places, and learned so much from his faithfulness. Listen, church, you're not always going to be what you want to be. But in order to get to what you see, you've always got to be willing to show up every single day and be willing to take the beating, to take to take the licking and keep on ticking, to take what the world throws at you, to take the disappointments and flush them down the toilet, to take every beating of like life, to take it and to continue to see it and continue to be it. You've got to be it, what you want to see in it. And this is the place where I want you and us to grow in. Because if you want to be in a healthy relationship with your spouse, you need to first see it. You need to first see that you can be it. You need to see the good in your spouse rather than reminisce on all of the problems that you see in them. You need to see the potential in your boss, in your brother, or in your sister, or in your church before you're able to be the change that's necessary in that relationship. And so I want to encourage you in that you need to be what you want to see in others But in order for you to be it, you first need to see it. So number one, you need to fix your focus. If you've always seen the negative at a certain situation, place, person, thing, like start changing your mind and start seeing the good in that person, place, or thing. And then go to God and say, God, okay, this is what I see. I can see that this will work. I can see that this can happen. But God, I need your wisdom to help me do and to be what I need to be in order for what I see to come to pass. Don't wait for someone else to change, to make the change. Be willing to be the first person to make the change. Even if it's not your fault that you're in the place that you are. You've got to be willing to say sorry first and to make the first move, to set the example, to set the bar, and to set the foundation of where you want to go in the future. But you know what that's going to take? It's going to take a big girl and it's going to take a big boy to step up and put on the big boy pants and be willing to do what's necessary to get this thing done. I'm coming to you as a pastor, as a husband, as a dad, and I plead with you by the mercies of Christ, don't give up when it gets hard. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Keep pushing and keep doing what you believe God has called you to do. First, you need to see the good. Will be what you see. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you all so much for a wonderful time together today. And I want to encourage you, come on back tomorrow for another episode of our Midday Motivations. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. In Jesus' name.